It is 6 o'clock. I will call the Monday, April 27, 2026 board meeting to order. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, so please stand. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Oath of new officers, which will be led by Clerk Jerry Rossi.
You guys want to stand? Just repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Steve Miller,
Affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the office of school board member
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the office of school board member
of Grafton School District to the best of my ability, so help me God.
of the Grafton School District to the best of my ability, so help me God. Thank you. We So, welcome, Terry.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Bob. So we have our board for the 26-27 school year. Excellent. This is also our organizational meeting tonight. So we have a few things to go through. We'll start with election of officers for the 26-27 school year. The process, as a reminder, is we will look for nomination for the position. Then there'll be a second to the nomination. Once we have the nominations in the second, there'll be a motion to close nominations. There will be a second to the closing of nominations. Then we will vote on the nominations, and then we will elect that position. Good? Okay. So I will look for nominations for school board president.
I nominate Steve Nada for school board president.
Second.
We have a
I
first.
move that nominations be closed.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. We will vote on closing nominations. So all in favor of closing nominations, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. And we now have a vote for Steve Nauta to be school board president. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. Thank you very much, and I look forward to holding this role again. Next, we will look for election for board vice president nominations, please.
I nominate Mark Kaler for vice president.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any additional nominations? I will look for a motion to close nominations.
So moved.
We have a first and a second. We will vote to close nominations. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And we have closed nominations. We will vote on Mark Kaler to be vice president. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Mr. Kaler, do you accept the role of vice president?
I do.
Excellent. Next, we have board clerk. I will look for nominations for board clerk.
I nominate Jerry Rossi as board clerk.
We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any other nominations?
Move that nominations be closed.
We
Second.
we have a second to close nominations. All in favor of closing nominations, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. We will vote for Jerry Rossi to be clerk. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. And Mr. Rossi, do you accept the position of board clerk?
I do.
All right. Last one is an election of board treasurer. So do we have a nomination for board treasurer?
I nominate Blair Jameson.
Second.
Any additional nominations? Do we have a motion to close nominations?
So moved.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All in favor of closing nominations, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that passes. And we now vote for Blair Jameson to be treasurer. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, that passes. And Blair, do you accept the role of board treasurer?
I do.
Excellent. We have our officers for the year, so thank you very much. A couple of board appointments. So positions that we have had previously that are appointed. Sean, you have been the CISA 1 representative. Will you continue to hold that role for us?
Sure.
Okay, so Sean will be the CISA 1 representative for us. WASB delegate. Bob, would you be willing to accept that position of our WASB delegate?
I do.
All right, thank you. And historically, our newest member has taken on the role of the SWSA representative. Bob's held that for the last couple of years, but Terry, would you accept that position?
Yes.
Great. All right, we have our appointments done as well. So thank you very much for that. Board schedule for the 26-27 year.
Yes, so the board currently holds its regular meeting on the fourth Monday of each month, with the second Monday reserved for board committee meetings. A couple years ago, we started looking ahead at the calendar, and so we did this again. And in the 26-27 school year, there will be conflicts with the fourth Monday in December. December 28th is during the district's winter break, and in March, because March 22nd is during the district's spring break. So administration recommends maintaining the current schedule of regular board meetings on the fourth Monday and committee meetings on the second Monday of each month, with the following exceptions: to move the December 2026 regular meeting on December 21st and move the March 2027 meeting to March 15th.
Okay. So would we also have to, because the May meeting is going to be the 18th, correct?
Schedule.
Yeah, item M has the
24th?
the May meeting for next month.
Oh, that was
Oh,
already
yes.
approved.
So that was approved
approved
last
last
year with
Yeah,
that,
I
okay.
thought you meant 2027.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
did I.
So we're good with that from the previous year?
Yes, yep, that's correct.
Okay, so as we've done the last
Yes.
couple of years, we've looked a little bit further out into the calendar of knowing where we will have conflicts and just addressing those right away. So any questions or comments on the 26-27 board meeting schedule? All right, if not, I will look for a motion to approve the schedule as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any additional discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, and we have a calendar. Excellent. Board committee positions. So obviously, we have a couple openings at this point. As we've done the last couple of years, I would just like to take between now and our May 18th meeting, that will give each of you a chance, an opportunity to contact me, the positions that you currently hold, the committees you're on, which ones do you have interest in staying on if you're looking to move into something else. So we will formally do our committee assignments in our May 18th meeting. I think we have 2 committee meetings on May 11th. So that is a policy committee, so we have 2 of our 3 representatives for that, so as long as you're both there, we're good. And we have a finance, and that position is intact. So any committee that you're on currently, you will stay on that committee until May 18th, and we'll have new assignments at that point. Okay? So feel free to reach out to me, or I'll reach out to you, and we'll just have a discussion on those assignments. Brings us to consent agenda. Excuse me, we have 2 items. We have approval of minutes. We've had 2 meetings, March 23rd, 2026, as well as April 13th, as well as our statement of receipts and expenditures for March 2026. Do we have a motion to approve of the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any additional discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, and that passes. All right, enough of me talking. Mr. Nelson, superintendent's report, please.
Yes, congratulations to both Steve and Bob on being reelected, and to Terry for being elected. Appreciate your willingness on behalf of our community to serve and make our district a great place to learn and work. And for the 4th year in a row, the district was recognized as a top workplace award winner. Topher and I had the honor of representing the district at the recognition ceremony. This is the first time we have been there together. He's been there I think with Jill last year, and I've been there with Scott and Craig. So it's a opportunity we had to be able to represent the district, which is great, and appreciate all the hard work that's happening across our district. Later, you'll see it's Teacher Appreciation Week coming up, and we combine the award recognition of Top Workplace and Teacher Appreciation Week coming up to have food trucks today. So we worked with the Grafton Chamber. The weather held off a little for us, but we had an opportunity for our PD day to have a lunch for all staff, and to show our appreciation for the hard work they're doing, and how we win this award is through their work, so which is great. And then also congratulations to Robin Morgan, our STEM teacher at John Long Middle School, who's a recipient of the Herb Cole Educational Foundation Teacher Fellowship Award. This award celebrates and supports outstanding educators who demonstrate excellence and innovation in Wisconsin, and included with this recognition is a personal monetary award for Ms. Morgan, as well as a $6,000 grant for JLMS to enhance learning. If your kids have ever had Mrs. Morgan, you know she is very deserving of this recognition, and is just really one of our, just a top teacher and person who makes relationships with kids. So it's really great to have her be recognized in this way. Very proud of her. And then we have a number of students who've been recognized in the last month. I'd ask Mr. Moore to come up and talk about their recognitions.
Hi, good evening. As always, it's a pleasure to be in front of you tonight to just recognize all the extraordinary things that our students are doing in the world of extracurriculars. Congratulations to the following GHS students for their recent top performances in extracurricular competitions. Academic All-State Wrestlers, this would be a 3.7 or higher cumulative GPA out of our wrestling program. Elise Federal, Audrey Hansen, James Kelly, Jackson Meyer, Mason Meyer, and Tyson Paik. Top 5 finishers at the HOSA State Leadership Conference include Tanvi Hardis, 3rd place Dental Terminology, Katie Slominski, 4th place Health Informatics, and Eleni Walls, 4th place Pathophysiology, Shambhav Ashwakumar, 5th place Biotechnology, Avery Didier, 5th place Pharmacy Science, Nigel Walls, 5th place Medical Law and Ethics. This is Tanvi's third place finish also qualified her for the HOSA International Leadership Conference, which will be held June 17th through 20th in Indianapolis. FBA national qualifiers. We've got a lot, so stick in there, hang in there with me. Megan Brulette, Computer Applications, 1st place overall at state. Katie Slominski, Introduction to Business Communication, 1st place overall at state. Chinook Shadari and Jacob Nessler, Financial Statement Analysis. Hanal Kumbani, Introduction to Business Presentation. The FBA National Leadership Conference will be held in San Antonio from June 29th to July 2nd. WCTC Automotive Competition champions include Eli Ernst and Dylan Malloy. State indoor track champions from just right over spring break include the girls 4x4 100 relay team. They took home the title. Abby Bartholomew, Melanie Morgan, Emily Sewell, and Callie Tagle-Pietra. Civics Games State finals qualifiers include Ian Cornelius, Thomas Jordan, Brooke Levine, Jasper Stone, and Jackson Urbane. State finals competition will be held on May 1st. And then finally, congratulations to the newest class of the Grafton High School Athletic Hall of Fame. This will be our 6th class overall. Tom Garrity, class of 1978, Chris Ernest, class of 2005, and Al Nenning, class of 2013. The introduction ceremony will be held on Thursday, May 7th at 5 o'clock in the Grafton High School Commons and be open to the public. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Moore. And as I mentioned earlier, Teacher Appreciation Week is coming up. It's May 4th through 8th. So we'd encourage all members of our community to reach out to teachers and show appreciation for all the work that they do during that Appreciation Week. And there'll be special events happening at each of our buildings to recognize all staff during that week. And Grafton Robotics Expo, it was held on April 18th, and we had 10 FLL Explore teams from Woodview and Kennedy with 59 students and about 21 support volunteer coaches and some new volunteers that help with it, which is great. So it's our annual robotics expo. Showcase their work, provided a variety of engaging hands-on experiences for attendees, including opportunities for families to explore our high school fab lab, participate in Ozobot and Indy car stations, and interact with our middle and high school robotics teams by driving their robots. It also highlighted some student leadership and community involvement. They had the Cantastic food drive, a bake sale supporting a middle school team's national championship trip, and the sale of student-created 3D printed items for our high school team. So thanks to everyone who made this season and the event a success. And I don't know if we have any community partners that wanted to speak. I do not see anyone. I do want to say a thanks to the high school for hosting a successful prom on Saturday night. I know Scott and Kevin and Mike Kalina were all there, and it went without problems, which is great experience for everyone. And new this year, Mr. Weiss and Mr. James hosted a formal for 7th and 8th graders on Friday night. which I think had over 100 students in attendance. I don't know how many kids were at the prom, Mr. Mante? About 250 students at the high school prom on Saturday night, about 100 7th and 8th graders on Friday night. So appreciate them giving up their night for our kids to have a great time, and just a great opportunity for our students to get together and celebrate together. And then a final shout out to the cast and crew for GHS's production of Freaky Friday. Our family was able to attend the show on May 19th. Enjoyed the show and the atmosphere, but special recognition, especially for all those seniors that had their final performance that day, whether on the stage or working behind the stage or in the pit crew. They all did a great job and represented high school very well, and it was a fun show. Hopefully you're able to see it and enjoyed that. So, and with that, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Any questions for Jeff? Questions or comments? A lot of great success, so thank you for sharing that. All right, this brings us to public comment. I have not received any emails, so nothing was forwarded on to the board. Is there anyone here that would like to address the board tonight? Okay, seeing none, we will go to item C, recommendation for board action from our April 13th board meeting. First one is the Employee Benefits Consulting Services, R&R Insurance.
Yes, so back in February, at the direction of the board, we did look into options for bringing in and looking at other potential employee benefit consultants. We did reach out to and receive 4 proposals. We did evaluate those proposals and brought 2 finalists to our special board meeting 2 weeks ago. We saw the presentations, we asked questions, we had thorough discussion afterwards, at which point the board directed administration to bring R&R forward tonight to enter an agreement. And we have, so Michelle is here from R&R to introduce herself and to give you a little presentation on what to expect.
Well, thank you for having me, and you're very efficient. First of all, thank you for your dedication to the kids and everything. It's a big deal to be part of the board. I really appreciate you taking your time. And thank you for inviting R&R to be your partner on the benefits. My team and I are super excited and really eager to get working with the Grafton School District. Topher and I have already been working on a few things that we'll share with you today. But remember that while you'll see me most of the time when I'm coming to board meetings and going out to see the staff, I have a really robust team behind me that's, actually they're not behind me, they're with me, that is really helping with putting all of the programs together. And with the support of the Reish family, we're very dedicated to schools within Wisconsin. I know, Terry, you'll be the new SWASA. I go to those meetings, so I'll see you there, because we really try to be ingrained as much as possible with school districts and looking for solutions, because when it comes to healthcare, that trajectory is just continuing to go up. And so we need to really be able to work together to find those solutions for your staff so you can continue to offer the best benefits at the most fiscally responsible levels. We have a lot of success working with self-funded school districts and private employers as well, knowing kind of which levers to pull, because we don't want to rock the boat and make things, make a benefit plan less attractive. We want to work within the parameters of what's important to the Grafton School District. So we'll follow our very strategic process. Look at how well this presentation is working this time. The strategic process, and we're gonna flow through our strategic process, working with your administrative team, and if there's insurance committees that come along and well-being teams. But no matter what strategy we put into place, we're trying to communicate or bring forward, we really have to work on communicating with the staff. So I have some dates down. We already have some, we're going to be going to each school. Topher and I want to just be able to get out in front of your staff so that they know a face. They know the team that'll be supporting them as they're working through the complicated world of health insurance. So on the 30th, which is already Thursday, we're going to be at Kennedy. Then we'll be at the high school on May 19th, John Long Middle School on the 26th, and then Woodview on the 28th of May. So within the first month, we'll get out and hit all those schools, because we really want to make sure that everyone knows how the insurance works, where to go for care, and know who they can come to if should they have any questions. The benefit guide that they'll be able to have their hands on for themselves and their family members will be really comprehensive and have the videos and links, all of the information from everything from the health insurance, dental, life, all of the different items will be nice and put together for the members. But it's not just the one time a year during open enrollment. Throughout the year, we'll be developing the strategies for communication, because it's important for people to know throughout the year where to turn, who, how to use their benefits most efficiently. And we really find it super important for people to understand how the insurance works. There's not an insurance, god out there that's paying claims. It's the district. We're self-funded. So making sure that, members know, and members being the employees as well as their family members, the district is paying the claims. And so people, we all have to work together. I won't break into, we're all in this together by, what is that from? High School Musical? Something like that, yeah. But we really, we need to get everyone engaged so that we can, again, have the most efficient program, because the district only has so much money, and these revenue limits really put us in a tough spot. So we want to make sure that the money is going into the classrooms and into, raises if possible, not going out the door for insurance purposes. So we have already developed a strategic plan for 2026. We're working on our plans for 2027, and we're really looking forward to working with you so that you guys can focus on what's important for schools, so we can take care of the benefits part. So thank you again. Very, very excited and eager to work with you.
Great. Any comments or questions from Michelle while she's here?
I'd just like to say I deal with insurance for a living, which I'm sad that I have to say that. But anyway, insurance can be just an unbridled mess, and it's one of our biggest fiscal challenges. And after sifting through presentations, and it felt really good to have a partner that we're all pretty confident is focused on our people and making it understandable, and just looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, thank you.
Great.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So with that said, we would look for a motion to approve the contract with R&R Insurance for the employee benefits consulting services.
So moved.
Second. Any additional discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes, and we are excited to have you work with our staff and get out and meet them and help us for a long time to come. So thank you very much for coming, and look forward to working with you. All right, personnel report.
Yes, we have 3 hires and 1 change of position that we would ask for board approval for. We have Hope Eicher, school counselor, John Long Middle School and Grafton High School. Olivia Lancer, special education teacher, Woodview Elementary School. Bryn Schuler, special education teacher, Woodview Elementary School. And a change of position for Sam Ingracia from 7th grade ELA teacher to instructional coach, still at John Long Middle School.
Any comments or questions on the new hires or change of position? Okay, we'll take these in 2. We'll do the new hires first. I would look for a motion to approve Hope Eichler, school counselor, John Long Middle School and Grafton High School, Olivia Lancer, special education teacher, Woodview, and Bryn Schuler, special education teacher, Woodview.
So moved.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any additional discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. And 1 change of position for Samantha Ingracia, 7th grade EL teacher to instructional coach, John Long Middle School.
So moved.
Second.
Any additional discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that passes. And we are excited to have Hope, Olivia, and Bryn within our district, and excited to have Samantha in her new role.
Yep.
Great. All right. We had a April 13th curriculum meeting. Julia, this is your show.
Yes, we're going to start with some textbook adoptions for board approval. The first one is AP Statistics. A proposed AP Statistics textbook was presented. It is aligned to the College Board course and exam descriptions and reflects updated AP Statistics redesign that happened this year. The recommendation is to improve a 6-year online access purchase of the Practice of Statistics for the AP course, 8th edition, at a cost of $9,263.
Any comments or questions? I believe we were all at the curriculum meeting on the 13th. None? Okay. We would look for a motion to approve the purchase of the online access for 6 years of the updated AP Statistics textbook.
Second? Oh, sorry.
We have a first, we have a second. Any additional discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. Thank you.
Perfect. Second textbook adoption. The committee reviewed a proposed textbook for the new education CAP course aligned with UW Oshkosh expectations and covering child development from prenatal stages through adolescence. This textbook is what UW Oshkosh uses, so it's very closely aligned. The recommendation is to purchase 30 hard copy textbooks of child development and introduction at a cost of $5,670.
All right, same meeting. Any additional comments or questions? All right, we look for a motion to approve the 30 hard copy textbooks of child development and introduction books for the new education CAPP class.
So moved.
Second.
Any additional discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes as well. All right.
Okay, and lastly, for recommendation, we had an update on the 6-8 science curriculum review process. It was recommended to continue using CPUP lab aids, revised 3rd edition. The curriculum strongly aligns to the NGSS standards and emphasizes inquiry-based hands-on learning. Approval is recommended for implementation for the 26-27 school year, along with updated materials and 6 years of online access at a cost of $5,790. They have this version. It's just we're getting the revised 3rd edition. So we have 3rd edition, but they revised a couple of items in terms of the beginning opening vignettes we talked about at curriculum committee, as well as some teacher resources. So still 3rd edition, but revised.
Okay. Same thing brought to us tonight from the curriculum meeting on the 13th. So any additional comments or questions? Okay. Look for a motion to approve the implementation of the revised 3rd edition curriculum as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Additional discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, and that passes as well. And then we've got some informational items from the same April 13th meeting.
Yes, so we covered a lot of topics at the curriculum committee meeting, so I'll give a brief overview of all of them. The first thing is the student codes of conduct. Updates to the building level codes of conduct were reviewed and aligned with board policy 5500 with a focus on expectations for respectful behavior and adherence to school rules. Each building highlighted its individual handbook policies that guide our student conduct. We also talked about students on extended leave, so a presentation was shared on district-wide efforts to align practices for students taking extended leaves of absence. The work focused on improving consistency across buildings and clarifying staff roles, including attendance coding, enrollment status, and instructional support expectations. There was also an overview provided on the proposed updates to the district leadership structure following a staff-requested review of roles, responsibilities, and regional compensation. The changes presented included increased stipends, expanded leadership opportunities, and clarified expectations designed to broaden staff participation. There was also an update provided on the district's youth apprenticeship program, including the transition from Ozaki Youth Apprenticeship to a broader CISA 1 consortium. Program costs, instructional supports, and operational structures were reviewed, including changes to student fees, training responsibilities, and staffing processes. Future efforts were also shared, including next steps to support our CNA programming. We also had the PCSA shared. Work related to the district's procedural compliance self-assessment was shared with the committee. The Grafton School District is currently in its indicator year. Data was presented for Indicator 14, which is post-secondary outcomes, Indicator 11, which is timely evaluations, and Indicator 8, family engagement surveys, along with the 2026-2027 PCSA schedule, as this is a multi-year process. And lastly, the committee received an update on the work of the Human Growth and Development Ad Hoc Committee. Recent meetings were shared with including establishing member commitments, reviewing and voting to retain the 2011 standards, and finalizing belief statements. The committee also completed a current state analysis for grades 4 through 6 materials And we have a meeting this Wednesday that will look at 7 through 9 materials. And of course, all outcomes of the ad hoc committee will be brought to the full board for review and voting later this year.
All informational only. Any comments or questions?
The Human Growth and Development meeting is at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock on Wednesday, yep.
Great, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. All right, item G, CISA 1 service contract for 26-27.
Yes, every year we we contract annually with CISA 1 to provide services for us, and whether it's for students who need specialized services, whether it's alternative school placements or specialized teaching for disabilities. The contract for 26-27 is based on our current needs and does get adjusted based on needs that come up throughout the year. It does include the PAC, which is the Professional Advisory Committee, Teaching and Learning Network, and the RSN, the Regional Special Education Network. The district administrators are part of and collaborate with other leaders in CISA 1. So we would ask for board approval. There's a projected cost of $67,893. If you flip to the last page, it shows the CISA 1 membership, Wazaki Community High School, which is our alternative placement. There's 3 seats there, teacher of the blind and visually impaired, and the orientation and mobility specialist, which is what brings us to the $67,893 that we'd be asking for board approval for.
Okay. Any comments or questions on the CISA 1 26-27 school year contract? Okay. With that, I look for approval of the CISA 1 agreement for services and initial statement of work for the 26-27 school year as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any additional discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, and that passes. 25-26 third quarter budget report. Topher.
Yes, so the third quarter budget report is tracking similarly to the first and second quarter budget report, in which there isn't a whole lot to report back in terms of variances, in terms of what we expect from the categories. In fact, now, if you look at the last 3 years, we pretty much spent the same percentage at this point as those previous couple of years. But I do want to point out, and as we've done in the past, we take a closer look at our health insurance costs. So on that employee benefit line, we do track it on our expenditure line. Every time we do payroll, we set aside a premium equivalent, right? And in the past, we would have set that aside and paid that bill when we were fully insured. Now, that isn't the way things work. So we do need to take a deeper dive into how our self-insurance is tracking. And so in terms of the funding sources, and one of the big funding sources would be those premium equivalents that we take every payroll. Most of that is the district contribution, but there's also the employee contribution as well. You can see starting in January, that did kick up. That was related to our 10% renewal. So we're setting aside 10% more money to fund those actual costs. We also have stop-loss reimbursements, which vary from month to month. It's really dependent on whether we have people exceeding that $80,000 threshold. And then you have the pharmacy rebates, which occur quarterly. That's why you see them September, December, March. Those are pretty consistent. From the expenses, we have the claim activity, which can vary from month to month depending on what kind of activity we have with our staff. And then we do have the fixed costs, which are pretty stable. Again, you see that slight increase in January as we do have premiums that we pay, such as stop loss, organ transplant, and gene therapy. So you do see a slight increase there. When we look at it all together in terms of looking at funding and expenses, we're having more positive months rather than negative months, as you can see. And if you look at it tracking cumulatively, as we mentioned at the end of the second quarter, we were about even, just a little bit below even. And now, with the past 3 months having a really good quarter, we're up to about $187,000 in the positive. This was similar to last year where, I should say, in terms of the pattern, we were significantly underfunded last year by about $750,000. And then that second half of the year, we did claw some of that back. You can see kind of a similar pattern where instead of being severely negative, we're even at this point, and now we're at a point where we are working with having more funding sources than expenses. So a good development, obviously wanting to see that continue on in the second quarter so that we could put certainly a reserve in place to deal with those bad years that will occur that we had happen last year. So a deep dive into that piece of health insurance as we look at each quarter. Any questions regarding the third quarter budget report?
Comments or questions, informational only as far as update as far as where we're tracking. So certainly is good news, to see the last, see the progress in March. And how early in April will you have, or how early in May will you have April's numbers?
Really tomorrow, I will have April's numbers, and they're trending really well.
Okay.
So April is a 5-week month. Every Wednesday counts as a draw based on claim activity. So April has 5 of them, but the first 4 have been significantly lower than what we would expect in order to make sure our funding sources can pay for that. So tomorrow morning, I'll be looking forward to that email to see if we have a 5th really good week in April.
Great. Any other comments or questions, informational only as far as an update? Okay. Topher, thank you very much. Library plan update.
Good evening. Our library plan was approved officially April 22nd, 2024. This is not a full 3-year plan that we developed. It's just a little bit of a tweak to reflect some of our initiatives and also an opportunity to show you that we are moving toward growth in achieving our goals. Artificial intelligence is obviously something that's changing our world rapidly, and there are district initiatives for that, and we want to make sure that our library is supporting our learners and our teachers. In our mission, we state that we want to empower students to be lifelong learners prepared for an evolving world, and AI is indicating how the world is revolving. Even 3 years, it's hard to imagine making a library plan for more than 3 years, really, because of all the changes. So we have our 6 goals that we've had, and those have not changed. We have just worked towards achieving those goals. We are ongoing. We are looking at what digital resources we could increase, where we might have needs, and we've added a few that just has hit. It's in the process of having our landing pages created. And one I'm rather excited about are 2 for our maker spaces that we have to give students ideas of things that they can do. And BRISK is the district initiative, and the library is partnering with Julia and the team on using that effectively to support learning for students and teachers alike. So one of our goals was integrating library lessons with curriculum alignment, and we have done many of those things. Of course, good curriculum, it's ongoing that we're evaluating lessons and making adjustments based on feedback and how things are going, and our district priorities, like we're looking at adding some AI depending upon lessons and teaching, depending upon what the committee decides is the best way. That's a task force. We did One District, One Book again this year with Ivan, and that's always an exciting time for the elementary students. Our middle school maker space, it's a little bit different this year with the use of our sort time changing. We had to pivot and look at ways we could use that, and we are using lunchtime source sessions. I have a group of wonderful students. They were some of the same kids that presented when John Long was the host of the meeting. We had such a great group of students, and they are my maker leaders, and we're moving to use those to move forward. Our maker movement, it get peers excited, help me to teach the peers. They're able to teach them how to use the different equipment. That's exciting. And we continue to have our curriculum in the library supported by our library collection, not just with Amplify, but ongoing collection development. Teachers are really good about reaching out when they need books, and I recently purchased some books for a 4th grade project, so I'm excited when they do that, and I'm able to support student learning and seeing them using those materials and resources for their learning needs. We are done with our genrifying at the middle school. We got to move the books into their spots 2 times because we have beautiful shiny shelves. Everything is in its permanent location now. And we really liked the genreification that happened at the middle school where all the books are in like categories. They were genrified here, but they were not the same system that we're aligning with the publishers. It makes it easier when I order my books through the library vendors, and it makes us more efficient. And what we found is we have a very robust middle school collection, and the high school, we want to match that robustness so it continues. So one of the big projects we have, and our library support staff has been super helpful. Sarah's been great helping me here with that project, where we're putting the genres to align with what we have, the categories at the middle school, so that students leave there and it's just a natural transition. Another thing that I'm excited about is those kids that I told you about that are my maker leads at the middle school. My 8th graders is helping them transition into my high school library advisory team. I've already told them that that would be happening. They're great kids, so that will be exciting to have their input both on our makerspace and how to make that more accessible to kids and make the space inviting, increase the collection so that it's reflective of what the students want to read. And I've been meeting with Scott about maybe some furnishing options to make the library more cozy and less tables and chairs. And that's it. Does anyone have any questions?
Any comments or questions?
What? And it's going to change, I guess, tomorrow. But when we talk about AI in libraries, like, what's that actually mean?
That's $1 million question.
Or what are some things being talked about? You know.
Well, I'll give you an example of the makerspace, if that's okay.
Yep.
I have students that are in SOAR time during our book club, our advanced students, and I'm trying to get them away from unexciting slideshows, for lack of a better word. So sometimes I will model with them using AI prompts, what could I do with this equipment, how would I use it? And so we formulated prompts together, and one girl decided that she was going to use some of our, the vinyl cutter and our dye sublimation printer to design like an outfit for a character. So that's one example that comes to mind. Also, as far as reading, sometimes getting recommendations for what books I might want to read next, things like that. It is constantly changing, but I like when you're working with this groups of students, especially one-on-one, and sometimes they're like, oh, you use AI, but then to be able to model it in a healthy, appropriate way that you're not plagiarizing and you're just having it enhance learning and not taking away from learning.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Informational only, but thank you for the update. Education for employment, E4E update.
Hi, good evening. So yes, I am here to speak about the Education for Employment Plan, the update, the annual review for that. This is the categories of the Education for Employment Plan, kind of outlining the different ACP activities and stakeholders that are involved. Tonight, I'm just going to highlight for you some of the things going on at John Long Middle School and then also at the high school. So at John Long, continuing to use Zello, which the state just re-adopted as the state ACP platform in grades 5 through 8. Also continuing with some standing traditions at John Long, such as the career speaker or the career day that they just had a few weeks ago as well. And looking towards the future, again, just as we have newer staff and more staff at John Long in the counseling department, which we're excited about, to look at that 5 through 8 programming and continue to build that out, and again, make stronger connections 5-12 as well. And at the high school also, we're also using Zello, doing that same similar model of teacher-led lessons that counselors are creating, meeting with students in either individually or small groups every year throughout their 4 years in high school, and working with our community partnerships and just expanding other options for students through coursework and youth apprenticeship as well. Couple things to highlight here too, just with adopting the career cluster model that we spoke about with you last year. We really have been taking steps to getting students more familiar with that and with the language, and then integrating it into things that we were already doing, like our fall career speaker series. We use the career clusters to kind of help kids categorize the different speakers that were coming in and reflect on where their interests were. And then a new program that we piloted this year was the Career Cafe in partnership with the Grafton Chamber of Commerce, once a month. Again, using the career cluster framework as our guidance, had community businesses in our lunchrooms. That for one of those pictures, the Kohler Credit Union, that was just last week actually, with the financial services cluster we're in. So that has been great, well received by students, and we are looking to strengthen that just with teachers, more awareness with students as well, and then a couple other photos just from our ACP events. After testing, students got to go on various either career, worksite, campus, or volunteering experiences. As for the updates, any questions?
Any comments or questions? Thank you for all the things that you're doing with bringing the community into the schools and working with the kids. That is great. Okay. Informational only. All right, student overnight trip request.
Yes, we would ask for board approval for the GHS robotics team to go to the FTC Invitational in Chicago on July 24th, with Mr. Riley and Ms. Eipert being the chaperones, and the students, the 10 students are listed. They placed 6th in state, which advanced them to an invitational. So a great experience for them to meet FTC teams from other states and compete against top teams in the Midwest and improving their robot. And they have a business team writing a grant for a local bank to cover the competition fee of $800, and all other fees will be on the families. So we'd ask for board approval for that trip.
Any comments or questions? We'll look for a motion to approve the student overnight trip request as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Additional discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, and that passes. Gift reports.
Yes, we have a number of gift reports we'd ask for board approval for. We have from the Grafton Music and Theater Boosters with contact person of Rick Seibold, donations to all 5 music teachers at Grafton. So GHS bands for sousaphone and $2,000, GHS choir for risers and $2,000, JLMS bands for French horn of $2,000, and WES and KES music each $750 for a xylophone sound system. And then for GE Healthcare through First Wisconsin, Matt Perkarski is the contact person for GHS Robotics. There is a $1,000 grant that is a restricted gift for the robotics team. Capco Metal Stamping with Jenny Wagner The contact person for that is donating AWS certification test weld metal in the amount of $2,305, so a restricted gift for the welding classes. Also, a restricted gift for the welding classes from MPE/JD Laser. Contact person, Mr. Steve Nada. And it's an AWS certification test weld metal in the amount of $1,650, so restricted gift. And then from the Grafton Athletic Booster Club, with the contact person of Adam Rigg for GHS softball. It's a GABC donation to the GHS speaker system at the varsity field in the amount of $2,000, so restricted gift. And then Cheryl Herbeck, with the contact person of Mike Dodge. She won the Booster Club raffle winnings of $500 and made a restricted gift to the GHS wrestling program, which we appreciate. And then Five Guys Grafton with Adam Montanati as the contact person. They are sponsoring the Grafton Wrestling T-shirt sponsorship of $500, so another restricted gift for wrestling. And the last one for wrestling as a restricted gift is from the Grafton Wrestling Club with Mike Dodge as the contact person. They donated $4,856, $3,000 for storage cubbies for the wrestling room, and $1,856 for varsity wrestling warm-up jackets. And then for for the Jerry Faust is donated $1,000 to GHS Baseball for a name on the windscreen. Woodview Playground, we have 4 donations for Woodview Playground. Fort Washington State Bank in the donation level of Climbing Cat and for $2,500. Grafton Orthodontics Cub Club and $500. Landmark Credit Union Cub Club $500, and CJWC in the amount of $250. And then also for the Woodview Playground is the Grafton Cedarburg Rotary Club, a Climbing Cat donation amount of $5,000, and American Family Mika Manure Lawrence Cub Club $500. And then on the Enhancing Our Future Athletic Complex Development Phase 3 donation report, Mika Manure Lawrence in the amount of $1,000, American Family Insurance matching grant of $1,000, and Edgewater Golf Club Blackhawk donation level of $3,000.
It's a few.
Pretty good. I like spending a lot of time reading that.
Any comments or questions? Seeing none, I will look for a motion to approve the gift reports as presented.
So moved. Second.
Any additional discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes, and we thank everyone for their generosity, and we will get a letter of appreciation to everyone. Item M, board meeting schedule, as we discussed earlier. We will be meeting May 18th next month, so not the 25th due to Memorial Day. That brings us to closed session. The Board of Education will consider a motion to convene in closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 19.85, Section 1, Subsection C, considering employment, promotion, compensation of performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercise responsibility for purpose of considering 1, final notice of non-renewal of teaching contracts, 2, teacher contracts, and 3, employee compensation. Do we have a motion to go into closed?
Second.
We will take a voice vote.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.